Hello, friends. Happy to meet all of you in 22nd. And although it's already the end of January, first of all, I'd like to take this opportunity and to send you today all of my warmest wishes for the new year. And I wish you, of course, health, especially in today's situation, and success, prosperity, and may all your ambitious business and personal plans come true in this year. So today we have a special topic. I believe that this one will be on top of sales trends this year. We will be speaking about hyper-targeting and how to apply this approach in LinkedIn outreach in order to engage with the most loyal and relevant audience. So some of you guys are already familiar with me, and my special thanks to my loyal audience. And for the rest of us, for the rest of you who joined us for the first time, let me shortly introduce myself. My name is Maria, and I've been working in sales for more than 6 years, both in B2B and B2B sales. And right now I'm with Closely. This is a sales intelligence platform where we help people to use the power of LinkedIn for boosting brand awareness and sales, of course. So in our previous webinars, we spoke a lot about the power of LinkedIn as a great business channel, about building your brand on LinkedIn, also about the basics of outreach. And all of those videos, all of those webinars, they are available for recap at our YouTube channel and also at our website. So you're welcome to proceed and to learn something new from them. And today I would like to speak what is hyper-targeted outreach is, and how you can take advantage of it in many, many ways. For example, grow loyal audience for your communities, events, and of course, how to use this in order to increase your conversions with the high quality leads. So today we're gonna talk about why you should choose quality, not quantity, and how to pinpoint your audience on LinkedIn. How to build a hyper-targeted prospect list using LinkedIn and additional tools, what is context outreach, and of course, we will be speaking about examples and some practical recommendations. There is a common delusion in sales, especially at prospecting stage, that more is better. The more people you have at the beginning of your sales pipeline at its initial stage, the more leads you will have down the line. To a certain point, it is true, but the reality, especially in B2B businesses, is a bit different, and quite often the opposite statement works. So quality, not quantity, affects the conversion rate. Because sending messages to random professionals and companies won't bring you any closer to reaching your business goals. To make it in B2B sales, you'll need to take all necessary efforts to build mutually beneficial business relationship with clients. And targeting is the first step to achieving it. Your target audience will influence how you write your messages, how you structure them, and of course, how you connect with your prospects. Your target audience can share similar demographic traits, such as job title, location, industry, company size, revenue, technologies in place, and many, many others. So why bother putting in so much effort to create a smaller but focused audience when you can just send, emails to a larger quantity of people, thus increasing your chances of getting response. So if you're sending large amount of connections to anyone, you can think of your message may receive zero interest from their side because it may be not relevant to their specific needs, even if in a wider sense, they really belong to your target audience. Moreover, if we are speaking about LinkedIn, for example, they have pretty strict connection limit. So 30,000 people as friends or followers. And if you send your requests in, I would say, uncontrolled manner, you'll soon end up with a mass in your network without a chance to expand it further. So what I'm trying to say here, that narrowing down your audience will help to create a specific approach that appeals to every person you want to connect with. And everything you do in sales is based on your audience and their challenges, which is why you need to understand them very well. Targeting is not exclusive to LinkedIn. In fact, this is the first step of any outreach activity. And here are 4 reasons why outreach campaigns can't work without a strong foundation in targeting. First of all, targeting helps you to locate potential customers. Again, narrowing down your target helps. The smaller your target group is or are, the easier it will be to find your customers and experiment further with different groups and audiences. Secondly, it helps you to create approaches that convert. Without knowing the similarities between different people and campaigns that connect them, basically, you stand no chance at creating an approach that engages or converts. Targeting helps to save some time for you because from the start you'll be looking for professionals that share job specifics, pain points, and basically any other traits. So once you do your research, you can approach cold prospects with slightly customized base messages based on the same template, basically. And targeting is the most crucial practice for better personalization of your outreach. The next one, targeting is the first step to outreach automation. So narrowing down your target group using a specific criteria, you can easily automate the process and play with the different settings in your automated solution, starting from delivery times, time zones, and other things, just ensuring that your messages reach your prospects at the right moment. For instance, not when they are asleep or enjoying their weekends or something else. And last but not least, definitely not least, it makes room for efficient lead qualification and sales. So once your cold emails or cold messages on LinkedIn start to generate responses, the first priority is to qualify those leads using prospects insights. Targeting will help you to interpret yes and no signals and better recognize patterns in customer buying behavior. Analyze reasons customer give you for buying or not buying your solution or your services, and you'll access a host of valuable insights to make your sales process quicker and more effective. So what do you need to do in order to build a hyper-targeted prospect list? Basically, a variety of tools can be used. We'll just cover a few of them, most popular, I suppose. So the first one is basic LinkedIn search. It's a very simple one and is available for everybody who has a LinkedIn account, free account. So this is a great tool available without any additional spendings. And it allows you to have full profiles for everyone within your network, as well as the members of the groups you share with. Also, basic LinkedIn search provide you with quite great search result as for a free tool. So you have up to 1,000 results per one search. And the last thing is about basic search result filters. So you have not plenty of them, but quite few, I would say. On the same hand, this tool has a lot of cons. So 1,000 prospect search limit may be definitely not enough if you have ambitious prospecting goals. Also, there is no opportunity to create and manage lists and no way to export the data. Filters don't always work appropriately. They can show you people that shouldn't be there according to input data. And there is no possibility of defining whether your audience is looking for a solution at the moment or not. The next tool is a paid version of LinkedIn. This is LinkedIn Sales Navigator. It starts from $79.99 if you pay annually. And this premium solution from LinkedIn offers few interesting features on top of that. So, for example, you have advanced filters for lead and account search. Also, you can create alerts on lead and account activities, and you have also possibility to create custom lead and accounts list. And also important thing, you can save your searches. For those who don't have access to Sales Navigator or just never used it, here is an example of the filters from Sales Navigator. You can see you have much more than in free LinkedIn version. For example, you have company type, you have additional filters for more precise targeting of specific people, like years of experience, are interested in, etc. So quite a lot of additional filters available. But on the same hand, we can also speak about some cons of this solution. So again, there are some limits for the search. This time you have up to 2,500 prospects, which you can find by a search. This is quite bigger amount than with the free version. But anyway, if you are at the scaling stage, or you have, as I mentioned earlier, ambitious prospecting plans, this may be not enough for you. The same problem with the filters appears, so they may work incorrectly, again, showing people that shouldn't be there. And there is also no opportunity to find prospects based on their behavior or more specific interests. The next powerful tool that allow you to get access to more than 15 filters, including management levels, location, company name, job title, function, technology products, revenue, employees, and a lot of others. And also, which is even more important, this tool allows you to identify and reach prospects at the beginning of their buyer's journey by tracking companies that are researching solutions like yours across the web. This is ZoomInfo, and you can also benefit from exporting your contacts in CSV and use this data for outreach. But one of the biggest cons is its price. ZoomInfo actually starts from $20,000 per year, and only annual subscriptions are available. Another tool that provides access to B2B data is Cognism.com. This platform has great capabilities in terms of content research. For instance, it allows you to check the increased interest in some topic compared to historical baseline. And though to send, for example, your pitches or your webinar invitations or some email campaigns to those accounts, to those leads, basically prospects, who are actually researching this particular topic today. And you can also use a range of advanced filters to find qualified leads that work in companies of the specific size, industry, with a specific revenue, or maybe using a specific technology. And you can also combine this data with the results of your content outreach and get all the data points. Although these tools provide you with sometimes pretty massive portion of data about prospects, one important thing is missed here, and just in a minute I will explain which. Also, none of them provide you with an opportunity to send to run fully automated campaigns directly from the platform. So anyway, you can use this data only for the list building and later on for manual outreach. Which is, of course, not the best option if you are at a scaling stage and you are looking for some complex solutions. So now it's a time to speak about very important thing called context and how it allows us to not only find targeted, but hyper-targeted audience. So if you're using regular filters and build your prospect list based on things like geography, title, industry, your messages may receive almost zero interest from the side of your prospect. Why? Because even if in a wider sense they belong to your target audience, there might be a possibility that they are not interested because they have no need for a solution right now, or they have some other priorities at the moment, or something like this. So how could you make sure that this is the best moment to bring yourself to light? This is where the behavioral segmentation appears that allows to analyze the purchasing intentions based on prospects' behavior. So let's imagine that you're helping people with growing their online communities. So pretty obviously your target audience are marketers. But it would be a huge mistake to think that all marketers in the world possibly might be interested in your solution. So let's try to narrow down and use, for example, filters like location and industry. And imagine that you are looking for B2B software as a service marketers in the United States, for instance. It's better, yet not perfect. Because the narrower is your filter, the more relevant the audience will be. And this is where, for example, the Sales Navigator helps a lot with building more precise list of prospects. However, it's not usually enough. And to find a hyper-relevant audience, not just relevant, you need only one thing that is not presented neither in basic search nor in the upgraded version Sales Navigator or other tools. It is called context. And you've got to make sure that a particular person who is B2B software as a service marketer in the United States is growing an online community right now and looking for some tools or some suggestions with it at the moment. And that's what we basically call context. And we can expect that people currently experiencing some kind of difficulties with growing and promoting online communities, they will try to educate themselves, watching tutorials, reading blogs, searching for relevant groups, for example. In other words, doing all what it takes to find an answer to their question or solution to their problem. Sorry. So sorry, we had some technical issues here and we stopped at the context. So basically this is what we call context. And if we're speaking how to identify that you are looking for the right audience and you are looking for the right context right now, this is where you can check whether the people, for example, are looking for some suggestions, are looking for some content, for some events, or for some groups, for example. And why you should look into LinkedIn first if you want to add context to your prospecting puzzle. Because LinkedIn is an amazing platform for numerous learners with its opportunities like online events and niche groups that are just few clicks away. And more people are coming there to share their experiences and to gain expertise from thought leaders that are being formed across different niches. LinkedIn groups, events, and content welcome you to learn how to solve issues that might bother you at this particular moment in your workflow. And to sum up this block, list building by context refers to a way of searching and pulling highly relevant audience on LinkedIn from niche groups, niche events, and content, aiming to reach out to that audience with the highly relevant offer. And then you personalize the complete sales funnel to their needs. This strategy can be reinforced with hyper-personalization. And it works by using customer data and the creative application of technology to deliver content that speaks the customer language and addresses their needs. Given the current LinkedIn connection limits and the limited number of messages available to send per month, I would like to come back to the beginning of this conversation and emphasize that in this case, quality, not the quantity, affects the conversion rate. And given the information noise around and the real battle for customers' attention, you'd better make sure that the person you are trying to reach out to really belongs to the most relevant audience. So you won't waste both your time and your precious credits. And by really relevant audience, I mean not only people who belong to your ICP, but those who are in need of your services or your product at this exact moment. So the chance that be more open to the conversation will be much higher. The hyper-personalized list building approach is about finding people who participate in different topic-related groups, events, or engage with the post. So at the end, you save time, money, and energy dealing with audiences that show zero interest in whatever you have them to offer. Why groups and events? Because LinkedIn groups can be a lead generation goldmine, and not just for finding prospects, which is of course a number one priority, but also for establishing trust and positioning yourself as an authority. You can literally find LinkedIn group for any niche, vertical, market, segment, and so on. And LinkedIn groups give you the opportunity to listen to conversations between prospect and to get involved in this. And if and when you reach out to these people, they will be much more likely to respond to your sales outreach efforts. LinkedIn groups can also win you some extra exposure. Your interactions will be visible there for everyone, and this is great for brand building, both your personal and your business, and establishing relationships. LinkedIn events are also a great tool for prospecting. Where else you would find a group of people eager about one single thing? If we are looking for leads, probably LinkedIn events will be the first place we begin our hunting. There are a few different types of LinkedIn events you can find out there to scrape. For instance, networking events for people who are interested in the same topic or who have the same goal, for example. Next, online workshops for people who want to learn something new. And also events that are wrapped around the product, like product launches, feature demonstrations, and more general one like meetups, conferences, or some other global events on some similar interests. So depending on the type of your event, you can set up different objective-based outreach campaigns. So basically, if you know where your target audience is on LinkedIn and what kind of content they consume, you can easily use this information in your outreach. You need only two things. The first one is a relevant LinkedIn event with many attendees, group or post with your target audience. And secondly, LinkedIn outreach tool to scrape the people and automatically reach out to them. So let's briefly sum up how you can use a hyper-targeted outreach for your outreach activities. Use it to grow your brand's community in social media. Engage people in your content. Also, you can send, for example, your content in exchange for the emails, something like this. Also for direct sales pitches, if you need them and if you use them in your strategy. And also you can gather audience for your webinars, for example, or any other type of live event you're using. So if you have, let's say, a post named like 5 strategies to grow your brand community, you can send personalized messages with some PDF or some interesting or useful resources or offer to people who interacted with this post. And there is a big chance that people will respond to your message or offer because they have already shown interest in the related topic. And now let's speak about the most interesting thing about practice. I'd like to share our experience and show how could you exactly use a super targeted list building approach and the results you could achieve. I'd like to cover a few examples, so we'll see how you can find and engage with the super relevant audience using content, groups, and events. And by the way, after the webinar, probably tomorrow, you guys all receive a PDF where we will share more examples. And moreover, you can check our actionable templates that we personally were using. And of course, we'll appreciate your feedback if you find them useful. The first example is about using the power of content. In our particular case, we were able to have 100 downloads of our freshly published PDF in a week using one of the recent LinkedIn posts with high engagement. In this example, it was a post of my colleague about the best email CTAs examples. And using closely, we were able to scrape the people who engage with this post and launch a connection campaign using the post URL as a source. As a result of this campaign, we had 102 downloads. So let's now have a little bit closer look at this. So first, go to your LinkedIn account and choose the keywords you'd be using to find content with. Let's try with the best CTA, like the same example we were using before. So try to find the post with the that is highly relevant to this particular topic, because you can see there are a lot of posts, and with high engagement. Let's, for example, try with this one. We have pretty good numbers over here, 111 likes and 90 comments over here. So all you need to do, simply copy the link to this post, then go to your Closely account and type create new campaign. You should choose a connection request and follow-up messages type of campaign and choose post engagement as a source for finding people. Simply copy the URL of the post into this field, just like this. Next, save and write messages. So your task here is to create a sequence that will emphasize your commonality with the prospect. So in the first message, you need to show that you at least have read this post and you have also something to add or ask on this topic. As I mentioned at the beginning of this block, you will receive our templates in a PDF afterwards. So now let's just use default templates. So you can paste a default template over here, and you can also choose preview just to have a look how does your message look to your prospect. And also you can write a follow-up message, which will be sent right after a request is accepted, or you can choose any additional time delay, like 1 day up to 5 days, basically. Again, let's choose a template over here. Also the preview. So next, save and verify, and Closely will find all contacts. Just give it a few seconds to find the audience. So by default, all of the freshly created Closely accounts, for additional safety, they use a warm-up mode, which means that you will start with 5 connection requests per day and 10 messages per day. And this number will increase gradually from day to day just to avoid the attention from LinkedIn. You can see that we were able to find 145 people from this particular post. Basically, this number includes those who engage with this post, liked it, or commented. And you can save this campaign as a draft, or you can save it and start right now. Also, you have an option to see if none of those people are already added to some other campaigns created by you prior to this. In our case, everybody is available. Okay, so basically, as a rule of thumb, I would recommend you to avoid buzzwords while trying to find some content for finding people. Or something too general like growth hacking. Because if you want to engage with real thought leaders, posts like this, they usually don't carry much value. and you need people whom you can engage in a conversation with. So look for real thought leaders and those who follow them. I would recommend to opt for thought-provoking posts. This is where most people tend to share their views without limiting their comments to great posts or something like this only. Also to long posts with real cases or screenshots or examples or where people are asking for some advice. Practical things always yield more attention and engagement. And also, of course, posts that have high engagement and create real value. And keep in mind, please, that the more thought leaders you connect with, the more relevant content you can find. And the bigger the chances that you'll reach out to your dream audience at the end. It's the best if you connect with the people on a regular basis, expanding your network all the time. The next example I would like to share with you is about growing an online community. So basically we had a task to grow our sales and growth community on Facebook. And as a result of our experiment, we gained plus 1,000 followers in 3 months. Our community is called Growth Marketing Plus. And by the way, guys, you're welcome to join. I'll leave the link below this video on YouTube. And first, we had to find people who are interested in the same topic. And in our case, it was growth marketing. So the first thing you should do after defining your target audience is to narrow it down to a LinkedIn group or two or more where your audience is engaged. So if your ideal customer, let's go again to LinkedIn. If your ideal customer is interested in growth marketing or growth hacking, and this was our particular case, you may experiment with different keywords depending on your approach. I used growth hacking here as well. So if you are keen on wider approach, you can connect with people from bigger groups like this one, growth hacking, with more than 16,000 members. Or if you are keen on more targeted approach, more niche one, groups like Growth Hacking Italia or Growth Hacking Tactics New York with up to 1,000 members would be a perfect choice for you. Also, please remember that you can only send messages to LinkedIn group you've been a part at least 4 days for. So basically, to scrape LinkedIn groups, you need to copy the URL of the group just from the field with the URL, and then again go to your Closely account. Click on Create a New Campaign and choose again a connection request and follow-up message campaign. When choosing your audience, please choose group members as a source and use group URL as a source. The workflow next is pretty similar. Again, your task is to create a sequence that will show and demonstrate the commonality between you, this group, and this particular prospect. We also did a pretty same thing with the events, searching and finding the ones related to growth marketing topics. Let's go to LinkedIn again. Just don't forget to choose, let's try not growth hacking, but growth marketing. Click search and choose events. You can look through the events that are most topic related to your particular case and have a lot of attendees. So let's just have a look at the examples. 6 marketing growth accelerators. Your task here is to copy a link to this event and use this link as a source for your audience in a newly created campaign. Again, simply choose event attendees as a source. type the link to this particular event and proceed to write your messages. As we are currently loading people to, still loading people to another campaign, you can see this message, but anyway, the logic is pretty the same. So your task is just simply to create the necessary source for closely, and it will do and write a sequence for each particular case, and closely will do the rest of the job on its own. So we ran campaigns in closely for a couple of months in this way, and experimented with different message sequences for each group to gain maximum effect. And as I mentioned, the results were plus 1,000 new members in 3 months. So the reason why this campaign worked so well was because people are more likely to connect and immediately engage if they have something in common with you. We've been using different sequences trying to find out what common ground works better. Again, I'll share our actionable examples in PDF. You're welcome just to adjust them to your case and use and share your feedback, of course. And we also used content, event, and group-based approach for converting conversation into booked meetings. And that's what we encourage you to do as well. Try to find the most promising and engaging content, for instance, posts. Create a hook sequence in which you can show some commonalities between you and the prospect. And, for example, use the topic of the post as a connection link between you and the prospect. And show that you have something to say, to demonstrate, to add, or you have something to share that will help prospect with their challenges he or she currently have or are interested in. And they are definitely interested in, they show this interest on LinkedIn, for example, just engaging in conversation or participating in groups or events. So basically, your success in sales depends on the quality of your prospect list. You may have a great product and a great team, but if you're reaching out to people that have no interest in your offer right now, most likely you will have a negative answer or you'll be just left on read. Although sales is a number game, and of course it makes sense to expand your prospect list constantly, most professionals find success by creating and reaching out to hyper-targeted lists made up only of the most qualified prospects. And of course, identifying the right people and the best way to reach them not only requires a solid understanding of your ideal customer portrait, but also understanding of a thing called context, which is about understanding the actual needs of your audience at the particular moment. The good news is finding hyper-relevant sales leads who are highly likely to convert, to engage with you, doesn't have to be complicated, especially when you leverage the right platform. With LinkedIn and its impressive learning and networking capabilities, it's much easier to meet the right audience. So the ideal flow is about combining few important sides of the customer portrait. First one, demographic, which is about location, titles of decision makers, email addresses, telephones, any other personal information that can help you. And it's not going to give you too much information about the leads buying habits or interest, but it can give you definitely some insights, whether they fit your ICP or not. Firmographic is about industry, is about company size, funding, revenue, and other company attributes. Technographic is about technologies. What tools do they already use? Do they use tools or platforms that integrate with your products? Do they use a competitor's product? And the last but not least, definitely, is about context. So do they have a specific need for your product or service right now? Are they interested in a particular topic, or maybe they have a specific request or have some issues, or they're looking for a solution or recommendation? All this information, if collected, could provide you with valuable insights in order to make sure that you are reaching the right audience at the right time. Surely, you have to use this data when tailoring your messages to the prospect. And hyper-personalized, hyper-targeted outreach can be used in a variety of ways. Of course, for sales, for direct pitches, for direct offers, for engaging people in your content, for finding people for online events you host, and of course, for growing your brand community. So you can look for people through relevant content, groups, or events on LinkedIn, build lists, and reach those people with the tailored messages running autopiloted campaigns. For example, with Closely, our cloud-based automation solution, you can import people from LinkedIn basic search and Sales Navigator search. Or you can use a way of importing people from your CSV with different custom variables. You can also create campaigns and easily track the results in the dashboard. And which is even more important, you can easily track all the conversations you get in one inbox. So you don't have to switch to your LinkedIn accounts, especially if you have many for the outreach. All information is in one place. So you can jump directly into your inbox, filter your search by some particular campaign, and you will see conversations that are related to this particular campaign only, which makes management of your LinkedIn outreach and LinkedIn conversation very easy. And you can also assign specific tag to a conversation. For example, if you received a positive answer from the lead, you can assign a tag positive and later filter by the tag positive. So you can see conversations that include only positive answers or only negative answers, or basically an objection that you have to handle, or any other custom tag. So the built-in inbox makes the management of your outreach messaging quite easier than before. And also, which is all about context, we were speaking previously, you can scrape people from posts, groups, and events, just to make sure that you are really reaching out to the audience that is interested in some particular topic, researching something right now, or looking for some answers. So you can reach out to them with the highly relevant offer. So friends, thank you all for your time. I will be happy to answer all your questions if you have some. Please feel free to type them in the chat and I will have a look. And meanwhile, I'd like to remind you that don't forget to check your mailboxes tomorrow, as we will send a detailed PDF with more cases and actionable templates. Feel free to use them and drop your feedback if you find them useful, of course. You are also welcome to join to our Facebook community, where we not only share updates about Closely, but also share different news, techniques, hacks from sales, from prospecting topics, and you'll find the link in the video description as well. And now let me dive in your questions. Okay, we have the first question. Can you skip the connection message and send just a message to the person? Message request. Okay. So currently, if you are targeting, thank you for the great question, by the way, if you are targeting the cold audience, if you are targeting the prospect that are not in your followers or friends list, not in your network, you cannot skip the initial message. So it will be sent anyway, but we are considering to add this option soon. So current answer, no, unfortunately, but we will add this option soon. Okay. Thank you for the great question, Marcel. How do you get 1,000 plus new members in 3 months when you can only send 100 connection requests per week? That's a great question. First of all, we've been using multiple accounts. Sorry for that. I was so excited to answer the question. First of all, we used multiple LinkedIn profiles for strengthening our positions. So, for example, we had one main profile. We were performing outreach activities and inviting people to our communities. And we also have, if I'm not mistaken, up to 5 accounts just to perform different activities and send connection messages and invite people both from groups and from the events as well. But there is also a way to perform this activity using just 1 account or just 2 accounts, basically. So if you will use the feature invite by email, you can avoid those restrictions, which include only sending up to 100 connection requests per week. So if you're using the feature invite by email, you can easily avoid this restriction and send more connection requests and more messages per week. And of course, per month. Martin asked, does Closely have message content samples we can use? Does Closely personalize each message? Yes, both answers are yes. We have some built-in templates you can use for your outreach, but of course there are multiple ways. You can use built-in templates, we have some, and also you can you can write your own messages, but we have some portion of built-in templates, both for initial connection message and for the follow-up, and we are planning, our content manager just saying me that we are planning to update them soon. Writing Closely. So we will add more templates soon. And the next part of question, does Closely personalize each message? Of course, it will be personalized based on the variables you use in your message, in your, for example, connection message or follow-up message. So if there is a variable first name, then Closely will find this information about the prospect, find it on LinkedIn, and use it in the connection or follow-up message. So based on the variables you use in the text and based on the information that is available about the prospect both on LinkedIn or on CSV you upload into Closely, we will personalize each message. Can we get recording? Yes, the recording will be available. I think we will publish it tomorrow maximum on our YouTube channel. And we will share the link to the recording in our weekly digest. Next question from Marcel. Can you download the draft list of people that scrapped from, for example, an event or post? That's again the great question, Marcel, and I have a pretty nice answer to it. We will have this option added next week. So I may say that the answer is yes. Okay, any more questions? Yep, I think we answered all. Is there something? Yeah, okay. Thanks, friends, for nice questions. Thank you for your time again. And just a small announcement as we are almost run out of time. We are preparing something really mind-blowing in Closely, which will bring your outreach to the next level. So make sure to follow us and stay tuned for more news coming soon. Oh, we have one more question. Just a second. Will I have an advantage if I get Sales Navigator or not needed? This will influence the situation when you have a free or paid premium or paid LinkedIn account, will influence a number of the searches available. Not searches, but the prospect that you find that you can find during one search. So If you, for example, go to Closely and use to, let's jump into account. That will be better. If you will use, for example, for your connection campaign, a basic LinkedIn search without paid version. So in this case, you will be able to find only up to 1,000 people, up to 1,000 prospects. And if you have paid version, when you put the link to the search over here, you will be able to find up to 2,500 prospects. So again, right like in the LinkedIn, it will influence only the number of people you will be able to find with one LinkedIn search, with basic one up to 1,000 and with paid up to 2,500. So, more questions? Okay. Seems like we are finished. Thank you, guys. It was an amazing start of 22nd. Hope to see you soon. In a month. We will have, as I mentioned before, we have some mind-blowing news from Closely. So stay tuned. And meanwhile, we will share our PDF tomorrow and the link to recording with the new digest that will come next week. So thank you again for your time. It was a big pleasure to see you, to answer all your questions. Stay tuned and bye.